We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
What do you want to do now, Cap?
The same thing we always do. Fight them until we can't.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We are fighting them until we can't. It's great to see everybody. My God, is it great to see everybody. You know, it has been far, far too long. Man, I know I can't remember the last time I went live. I know I did a live recently. I can't exactly remember the last one because well, let's see. If you guys haven't kept up, a couple months ago I turned 50 and I'm now getting to be an old man. So I have trouble remembering these things. But, you know, I was stuck. I was stuck in that rut that we get into. And before I get into some of the current events things that are happening, because we need to definitely have a frank talk about what's happening in the world. But before I get to that, I want to kind of drop some inspiration and truth on you guys. And that is, listen, as you know, or may not know, because we haven't talked regularly in a long time, you guys. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. Well, obviously you guys know that Will had his untimely passing last September, and you know, that was just, it still made it so difficult to want to continue with this endeavor, to continue to do this, because he was such an integral part of my life. He was a best friend that was like a brother, and he became awake from this very undertaking. What you see here, what we're doing here, he became awake. I watched his metamorphosis of becoming awake through knowing me, going down the rabbit holes together. And when he passed, and him being a part of the show by that time and everything, Guys, it made it hard. It made it absolutely, positively hard to ever want to do this again. And then I had to leave his place. So I was working full time. And I got caught in that routine, that trap that we all get caught in of being a wage slave, a tax slave, busting my ass for $15 an hour. It was a shitty job. It was shitty work. Did I have responsibility there? Absolutely. I was a crew lead. And yes, traffic flagging is not an easy job. Anybody that ever says it is, or when you're going through those construction zones and you see those people, they do work hard. Because in the time that I worked in that profession, I can tell you this. I had 3 close calls. I got brushed by a car mirror before, going about 35 mile an hour. You know, I've had some scary close calls on that job, but I kept dutifully doing that job and everything else. And then I had to leave Will's place. I wound up in my own apartment, as you can see. You guys know I've broadcasted from here a time or two. And for a while, things were okay. And then, you know, it's gotten to the point where everything is, the walls are closing in because, after the initial company I was traffic flagging for, myself and my crew, we left to go to another company that promised higher pay and a better situation. And well, let's just say the last little over 2 months has been a shit show. We all, the 3 of us, my entire crew, we tried that other company. It didn't work out. It was a den of drama. It was absolutely terrible. But it was the same thing. That grind of waking up 4 or 5 a.m. Woke Breaker, great to see you. Let's recognize everybody really fast before I continue. CJ, great to see you, buddy. A Time Prophet, what's up? Medi, God, I miss you, Medi. Salute to the 50 plus people. Time Prophet, great to see you as well. Sean Estep is here. Great to see you, buddy. God, this is a reunion, and I love it. Tehillim is here. He is wrenching the chat right now. Thank you, buddy. Great to see you as well. Shalom to you. Man, I'll tell you what. I miss my friends. I do. So I'm glad to see you guys. But getting back to what I was talking about, yes, I was stuck in that routine, driving an hour and a half to a job site, working 10 to 12 hour shifts, and then doing that same hour and a half ride home. And it was for $1 more an hour for $16. The problem is, finally, I'd left that other company about 2 weeks ago. Myself and my crew, again, we left together because, they are great people. They trusted me as a crew lead. And we all 3 became close. I'd run through a wall for them. They'd run through a wall for me. And we finally had enough. And right now, I am in a very uncertain place. As I said, the walls are closing in. I'm very far behind on the rent. I'm behind on my automobile. I'm behind on so many bills right now. And I don't necessarily have a source of income. But the biggest thing is, you would think, and you guys know me because you've been with me for so long. In the past, I would have reacted to a situation like this where I'd say, oh, you know, it looks bleak. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? But I have a strange hope. And that is once you break that cycle, once you break that cycle of saying, I'm not a wage slave anymore, I'm not a tax slave anymore, I'm better, I want to be an exceptional guy. You hear Andrew Tate talk about being an exceptional man. Well, I want to be an exceptional man. And how do you do that? It's with your head and with your heart. It is what is in those places that make you exceptional. Now, I don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out right now, as I told you guys. The situation is very bleak. I'm not BSing about that. But I'll tell you what, when I can put together $150, you know what I'm going to do? I'm done working for other people. I'm done making other people rich. I'm going to go and file an LLC and start my own business because Lord knows it's time to take control of my destiny and my agency. And I hope that that message goes home to everybody because this is what we need to do. We need to start breaking the cycle of mental slavery. Get out of it. Get out of it. Say, you know, just like we say, Satan, I rebuke you. I rebuke the bullshit. I rebuke the system. Done with it. It's time to spread wings and become something bigger. So now, in spite of all these troubles, all these difficulties, you know, and I have my faith in God to lean on, I have my faith in myself, but I can tell you that I feel alive because I broke that stupid cycle. I broke the shackles on myself. I said I'm done with the bullshit with women and their garbage and their drama for now. So the biggest thing is that all of this, I need to take the inspiration and motivation that Will would have said, you know what, dude, be great, pick yourself up. You know, God has shown me so many signs, you guys, so many signs. It says, take care of you, be the best you. And by God, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And with everything happening in the world right now, one of the things was, you know, it was time to put the signal back out there. You know, we are coming off 48 hours ago, the biggest miscarriage of justice in American history. But we all know what that's about. You know, those of you that think we're living in freedom, it's BS. We're living in the illusion of freedom. We're living on a bunch of age-old poppycock. I love that word, by the way, poppycock. Age-old poppycock. Oh, we're the most free country in the world. No, we're not. Not anymore. Banana Republic. That's what we've turned into. You know, we know who controls it. Pay attention to the governments around the world right now. What is happening? Central bank, every country, right? 13 original bloodlines, Rothschilds, Rockefellers. You know, We know who controls it. So at this point, why are we surprised by any of this? We are not going to be allowed to have the candidates we want. We are not going to be allowed to have anyone willing to affect change on our behalf for the good of the human race, for the good of American citizens. Hail to Ruben Christopher Haynes. Great to see you, my friend. CJ said Klaus Schwab supposedly stepped down, but that's probably because too many eyes were on him. Yes, that's exactly it. You know, he can step down all day, every day, and people are going to run that organization. It's a collective. Of course, they're, you know, the WHO, the World Economic Forum, CFR, all of them, they're going to go on. They're collective. It's a depopulationist, globalist collective. It'll have a figurehead, but it'll never be run by just one person. It's run by families. People with, in the Rothschilds' case, so many trillions of dollars, they could end world hunger tomorrow. Do you realize we could have ended homelessness for every American with the money that the Rothschilds have? Probably 20 times over. Hell, the money we gave to Ukraine, we could have ended homelessness 20 times over. That's a fact, actually. I mean, it's ridiculous what is happening. But the biggest thing that we have to do as a people, and I'm talking worldwide, is stop falling for the psyops, for everything that's holy. Stop falling for the psyops. Break the mental conditioning. You can. It's possible. Hail to my dude, Resolute Germ. Great to see you, man. Thank you for coming in here. I appreciate it. You know, I still watch the tribalism that's out there. My X feed is full of it. You know, I watch people that I once patronized when I regularly watched YouTube and things like that. The people that have grown to become, quote, influencers now. You know, I've watched everybody talk about the same things that they were talking about 5 years ago. Why, oh, why are we still stuck on, you know, what's wrong with entertainment? Why is it so woke? When you know the answer. But we're never going to come off arguments like that. We're never going to come off the minutia, the fighting. Oh, I'm a liberal. Oh, I'm a conservative. It doesn't matter. You know, both of them are two wings of the same bird. You already know it's all uniparty. They don't give a shit about you. There's so many fake conservatives and there's so many fake liberals. There's so many bandwagon influencers in each camp. It's a joke. God, it's a joke. But people fall for it. You know, if people put more energy into finding out and doing research about how the world works, why we're stuck in the tax system we are, why we're stuck in the Federal Reserve System, why things happen the way they happen, why the wars happen, what is true about history. People aren't asking these questions. No. More people are worried about, Nick Rekieta's case than that. Worrying about that poor man's personal life than asking questions like that, existential questions that affects them and their families. No, they want to watch, the drama unfold in someone else's life. I don't understand. You've got other people getting channels shut down. Shout out to Wes. Thank God he's gone over to Rumble and he's doing okay over there. But YouTube did him dirty. They did him really dirty. And I have my theories as to why. I'm not, I'm going to stay above that. I'm not going to call out certain parties without hard evidence. But I will say, whether it was pettiness or YouTube targeted him for being too much over the target yet again. West did not deserve the fate that his channel got, but they are going to ramp up the censorship. They know exactly what they're doing. All of us that saw what happened with that sham of a trial for Trump, we already know they skirted the law just to get a conviction on him. And that isn't going to stand. He's going to win on appeal. But, I can tell you this. You guys already know that if he's allowed to win, which at this point, I think he's got too much of a landslide because the stupidest thing they could have done was convict him, because the guy's popularity is going to skyrocket. The veil's starting to lift off the inner city people, and a lot of votes are going to come in for him from places that previously didn't. That, if he doesn't win by an overwhelming margin, there's a problem. That it's just, and they can't fuck over the election without making it blatantly obvious. So, Time Prophet, good night. Get some rest, my friend. Thank you for coming in here. I already know that the way that they're going to do it, and I want to allude to what CJ is talking about. I can't discount what CJ is talking about the nukes in space and things like that, because we are in such crazy times and we've seen so much crazy shit already. I mean, there's enough that we've gone through, been through, seen, that if you're paying attention, you have every right to question just about every event in history. Because who wrote it? How did it really happen? I mean, we don't know. But what we do know is the common denominator for most of wars were the banking cartels doing the same thing that happened in the Clone Wars. Let's start a war, finance both sides, right? And that's what they did. And it's absolutely crazy. you know, one of the things that I saw, and there's I'm trying to figure out. God, it's funny because I almost forgot how to share screens since they changed StreamYard. All right, look at this tweet by Matt Wallace. The federal government is seizing the Alex Jones studio in Austin, Texas. Donald Trump has been convicted on 34 made-up felony charges. Rudy Giuliani essentially had his entire net worth wiped out overnight for questioning election fraud. Enrique Tarrio was sentenced to 22 years in prison over J6 despite not even being there that day. The United States is no longer a free country. And this tells you everything you need to know. Now, I've also seen some rumblings going around X that, you know, and I've watched the stuff recently about Ashton Forbes talking about MH370 and its disappearance, that there was some very advanced technology that we don't know about that was probably the culprit. And it has a bit of validity to it. I really do think that there's something that happened that we just don't know. And there's also some rumblings out there on X that the Houthis in Yemen, now there's a whole bunch of shit happening in the Red Sea that could possibly trigger World War III just off of that. Never mind Ukraine and Russia and all the shit we've seen. That thing could blow up tomorrow. And there is rumors, and let me say rumors because they haven't been substantiated yet. But there are rumors that the Yemenis, the Houthis may or may not have sunk a United States carrier. Now, let's take a moment and really think about that. If that's true, then holy fuck. But going back to the bigger picture, you know, we have gotten to what Tolbat said. The Bible told you 2,000 years ago that except this time, your Zion you don't like is back and the generational timer has started ticking. I absolutely think that. You know, we are likely in the end times. I wasn't necessarily sure about it before, but man, I'll tell you what, you guys, it sure feels like the end times now. Just saying. Man. You know, and if we are indeed in the end times, my friends, I will stay here till the bitter end, at least trying to be a leader in helping the human race survive. Being a voice, being a leader, whatever way I can do. And if we can't avoid it, well, I know that I know two things. A, I'm going to die with honor, and B, I'm going to die free. That's it. That's all that we can hope for in the end. You know, Resolute Germ, as far as the carrier stuff, says that's way beyond the Houthis' capabilities. Even Iran would have extreme difficulty sinking carrier. I know, dude, but if they got lucky, you never know. Well, look, I'm going to tell you something. Do you realize we're about to lose our entire world to a small collective cabal of people simply obsessed with owning every resource and every bit of power in the world? We're about to lose our planet and our world to them because of a cockamamie bullshit scheme. That's it. Because we allowed ourselves to be manipulated. Now, we love our parents, whether they're still with us or they've passed on to the next realm. But you do understand that in many ways, our ancestors were duped too. They failed us. They were duped. And we've been manipulated for well over 100 years, if not more. And that's the thing. It's such a bullshit cockamamie scheme. I mean, when you think about it, guys, this is a fucking elementary Cobra Commander plan. And we got duped. We got duped. I mean, they sat there and played with the puppet strings, pressed on the keys, manipulated our societal ideas, manipulated people's heads. And thank God we've had some white hats along the way that cherry picked generations and gave them the ability to stay awake or easily be awake, which thank God for those of you in the audience and me that are fellow Gen Xers. Thank God for that, because, yeah, we're the ones most likely to be awake. Sorry, millennials. Sorry, Gen Zers. Sorry, people before us. We're awake. So that's the thing. So where do we go from here? Because we're talking on the next level, boys. So what do we do? Breakaway society? You know, not to parrot Iron Maiden, but do we run to the hills? And think about it. I mean, it might be the most the most prudent thing at this point. I don't know. But I'm going to say this, guys. For switching back to my personal life, my ideas at the moment, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do my damnedest to, as I said, break out of the matrix. I know Andrew Tate calls it the matrix, whatever you call it. Break out of the false reality, break out of the matrix, break the programming, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do my damnedest to do that. I am really going to start that company, guys. And by the way, you guys are probably wondering what industry you go to. You're going to start a journalism company, Drew? You're going to start what are you doing? I'm actually going to go and start I'm going to do like motivational coaching, motivational speaking, and kind of like do like a consulting firm, because it's pretty good money if you train. I've got about 13 years experience in sales, so on the local level, state level, I could go to businesses and be like, hey, you want me to train your sales staff, do seminars, programs for them, whatever. And then on the life coaching, motivational coaching side, I want to use the way that I speak, the ability I have to reach people, the ability I have to speak to those of you that are the viewer and reach people's hearts and minds. I want to use that to try to uplift people, try to wake people up, try to just at least let them live out the rest of their lives as better people. So I'm really bullish on that. So I really want to get that going. Yeah, Resolute Germ, I'm not going to stop doing my independent journalism. I'm still going to do it. But I'll tell you what, I will have a lot more time to do it if I'm owning and running my own business, because I can pick my own hours. And then I'll have time to still do journalism pieces, go out on investigations and things like that. I haven't given up. I'm actually going to start doing more field work again soon. When I can find a local partner to do that with, because, well, the partner I had, obviously, we know he's moved on to the next row. So, yeah, I kind of need a partner, but yes, I haven't forgotten. I'm definitely not going to do print journalism anymore. I want to be where the action is. I want to do investigative stuff. I want to be in the field if I'm going to continue with that endeavor as well. But the primary goal is I'm going to go into business for myself, start making some money for myself. Very likely with me facing an actual court case, which, by the way, guys, eviction is not fun. But the company that owns this apartment that I have, I want to tell you this. I guarantee you, if you went up the chain, this show management, whatever they're called, LLC, I bet you, if you go up the chain and up, they're probably a subsidiary of BlackRock or Vanguard. Want to bet? I bet any of us would take that bet. But the more insidious thing about the lawsuit, the actual eviction lawsuit itself, not only do they want the back rent from me, which I want to say I'm in the hole, quite honestly, not kidding you guys, I'm in the hole probably about a little over 5-6K, probably 6K at this point. But the biggest thing with that is They're trying to take me to court for $15K. And that's because if you look around you, you can see in the background right now my apartment. I have things pretty neat around here. I have things hung on the walls, but nothing in this space looks unlivable whatsoever. They are trying to make the claim that I have made my apartment unlivable, that I have damage beyond repair, which is a joke. And they are trying to sue me for damages upwards of $15,000, which is an absolute joke. The back rent, I can understand. In the past, if you went to court for an eviction, it would be you versus the landlord. The judge basically says, okay, can both of you guys hammer out an agreement on a payment plan and call it a day? Well, now you have these corporations owning these properties that they bought out from people during COVID. And they've not only raised the rents, but they will sit there and try to absolutely ruin people with BS litigation. Now, I can respect their legal standing on the back rent. I absolutely can. I can accept even going to court for the back rent. But when you tack on all of this other nonsense, I mean, at that point, it's simply menacing and greed. That's what it is. And unfortunately, because I can't afford an attorney, I tried to contact the Legal Aid Society locally here. They didn't have any attorneys available. So their answer was to send me paperwork to fill out to defend myself. Now, could I have a moment like, some of us have seen the TV show Suits? I could go into court. I bet you I could play a pretty good lawyer too. But going up against a fancy outfit like the law firm that this place has retained, I probably still won't stand a chance. And that's even with me speaking well and being intelligent and everything else. I could bring all the evidence I want, everything else. Their resources are a lot deeper than mine because they are a corporation. And that's sad. But I've chalked it up that I'll probably lose my place. I don't know where I'm going to end up, but I will still try to start adding more content, keep content moving on the channel, and also, start another channel for my eventual business and do motivational content on there separate from this, obviously. But the thing is life's going to change big time. I'll probably be living out of my car, have all the stuff that you see around in storage, and it's going to be roughing it for a long time. But I'm determined, and I'm going to keep going. So I want you guys to know that. I absolutely want you guys to know that. I have actually another 16 days until I have to go to court and fight this. So we'll see what happens. And I'll probably be filing my papers to fight it Monday. So, if you guys can keep me in your prayers and wish me luck, on that front. I appreciate it. Sherry, it's great to see you, honey. I have missed you, and I absolutely adore you. So, man, are we going to take bets? You guys, by the way, we were talking about taking bets earlier. Are we going to take bets on what comes first? Are we going to get Project Bluebeam? Are we going to get the World War III? Are we going to get President Trump's assassination? Well, what's going to come first? It's like all this stuff that is crazy that's coming to fruition right now. It is insane. But what a time to be alive. For the people that are actually awake, you all should feel so alive right now. It's sad in a way because I thought about how many people worldwide cannot break that bubble. Even if we had a world government, it was a tyrannical government, how many people worldwide do you think would stand up? I don't think we'd get enough. I want to think people are going to unite and fight for their countries, their national pride, the right reasons. But do we really have enough people? The people that are pulling the strings are they don't have the numbers. Do they have resources? You bet they do. They have a private army the size of a small country. But even they can be overrun. Rich people can't live forever. They might seem like they have endless resources, but they can't live forever. A bunch of determined citizens can take down an oppressive government because they have the sheer numbers to do so. But just how many people would stand up? That's what concerns me with the way we look at things with what's happening worldwide. Just in the U.S., I'm concerned about that. So many people are happy to live in their little bubble of everyday life. Oh, I'm protected. Oh, I'm distracted. That doesn't affect me. Yeah, it does. People don't want to think it affects them. It does. Because the powers that be, the real people that are in charge, and I know, the depopulationists, they don't care who they kill. They will kill indiscriminately. They don't want to share power. They don't want to share anything. Hell, if they can't kill us through a death jab, they're going to kill us through some kind of weaponized disease. And if they can't do that, they'll kill us with what they sprayed in the air or the fluoride in the water or, whatever. They're going to make sure one way or the other we're dead. Even if we're not dead and we're alive, they'll make sure we're dead inside, that we can't reproduce. Guys, I'm really actually concerned. Where, as far as my ability to possibly reproduce, I'm 50 years old. I'm concerned. What about all the shit I breathed in over the years that they've sprayed in the air? What about all the shit in the water I've drank over the years? What about all that? Hell, I'm scared to take a fertility test now and come back, I'm shooting blanks. I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Hell, the people with the COVID jabs, half of them are fucking sterile. I bet you. You've seen what happened to women that were pregnant while taking those things. They miscarried. People have already been found to be sterile. This shit's bad. They are just ghouls, man. They want to kill us on every end, every which way. It's just, God, they're obsessed with killing us, with sacrificing us, sacrificing our babies. God, it's terrible. They can't keep up the lie forever. The veil is falling and people are starting to see the truth. Even the harshest of critics or people that laughed and said we were conspiracy theorists are starting to see the truth. And as we know, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, but you see it with your own two eyes happening. So my question is, what are we going to do? The only thing that you can do is keep your loved ones close and survive. That's it. Do your best to survive. And I'll tell you what, I'm certainly going to do my best to survive. Homeless, whatever. I have only just begun to fight because I am reinvigorated. I am reinvigorated. I have a purpose. I have a destiny. Like BSG, like Kara said, I have a destiny. I have a destiny. And it's time to step up and take that destiny. And I want to thank all of you for not only supporting me on the level of a channel, but supporting me as a friend, being a part of my life. Those of you that know me on a personal level, that have talked offline with me, those of you doing that, being a friend, well, you guys have been amazing. Because you have all on some level said, you know what, dude? Man, you got it, bro. And it's time for me to take that I've got and turn it into something special. And that's, I think, I know what I'm going to do. It's time to embrace destiny, folks. So, I guess with this stream, consider me back on the front lines. Now, what does the comeback look like? I don't know how exactly I'm going to do it. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to continue on YouTube because they're not just going to let me run wild and talk about stuff like this. They're not. They're not. I mean, if I just unapologetically go down every rabbit hole, they will never let me on these airwaves on here. So I may have to do what Wes does. I may have to go over to Rumble. I'm not the biggest fan of Rumble, but I'm not opposed to it. If I can get the message out, I'll do it. I have an account there. I just haven't done anything on a channel there. So I have that. But, I need to do something. There's always my Twitch channel. I've still got that. But this channel, the important one, the Supreme Heretic channel, this message has to stay going out. And there's always the option to stream on X too, but I don't know how viable that is because I'm still kind of learning about that. But I will continue on here as long as I can continue on YouTube before they completely censor me. Which, oh, by the way, guys, one of the things since I've last talked to you, I've been getting a lot of emails. They've sat here and pulled random episodes of United Resistance for no apparent reason other than saying that I somehow violated certain guidelines of medical misinformation, whatever. They pulled down whole episodes of United Resistance. No kidding. And I just didn't get a chance to really tell you guys. But I've been getting the emails about it. Tolbat knows. I've told him. But I haven't got the opportunity to tell you guys. Thankfully, some of the important ones they haven't taken down. They haven't taken down my J6 footage. They have not taken down the interview with Laura Logan. They have not taken down some of our other great guests. Shout out to Chase Geyser for doing a killer job with InfoWars. He got a job with InfoWars, and he's killing it over there. Love you, Chase. But they haven't taken down the episodes with him. They haven't taken down Allura Jensen or when we had Jasmine St. Clair on. So that stuff is still up. And Fury Kitten, it's great to see you, my friend. Miss you, miss you, miss you. But that's what's happening with YouTube, guys. And it's only going to get worse. It's election time. It's election season. We're on the road to it. And they're not going to stop. So, if my channel ever gets nuked, know that I will go right the hell over to Rumble. I won't even think twice. I'll go over there. I've already got an account on there, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see what I can do to start moving some content over there. I gotta sit there and actually work on a channel and everything, but I'll try to start getting some stuff up there. Now, secondly, the show. I'm doing an episode of High Heresy tonight because this is just my opportunity to screw off, talk about whatever. I do want to bring United Resistance back. United Resistance is the bread and butter of this channel. It is a damn good show. I don't know that I'm going to have the time to do it in a live stream format. And I'm seriously giving thought, and I've talked about this, tossed this around with Tobat and a couple other people, about doing it as a pre-recorded podcast and releasing it on certain days. I also have a video I did recently, a short that I still haven't uploaded to the channel, which I'm going to upload probably this evening. I did it back a couple weeks ago, so you won't want to miss that either. And yeah, those are the ideas I have to continue with putting information out there. I think if we do United Resistance in a podcast format, I want to do it a little bit differently, only because, so many of our former cast have moved on. They're doing their own thing. I'm so proud of Janet, and I'm so proud of what Tommy's doing now, and Trina, and all of them. They're doing such good stuff with their own channels, and I'm so, so proud to see it. They deserve it. So instead of doing another panel program with United Resistance, maybe turning it into a proper podcast is the way to go. So I really think that is where the future of United Resistance is going to be. And I will keep you guys apprised of when that comes out, what it's going to look like. I'm also still going to try to do a live stream. I'll stick with doing high heresy streams. I'll try to do a live stream at least once a week, whether it be here on a Saturday night, a Sunday night, something like that. And we'll see about bringing Midnight Prison back as well. But United Resistance is definitely coming back in some form or fashion, even if it's as a regular podcast. It needs to. Yeah, Wednesday I should be free, bud. So, what the biggest thing is this evening, folks, I just wanted to see everybody again, talk to everybody about what's going on. Remind everybody that no matter how bleak things are, there is hope out there. And we need that mindset shift, man. When I was having these problems, God, guys, just back like 3-4 months ago, and I guarantee none of you know this, because when I have a huge depressive episode, I withdraw. But 3-4 months ago, guys, I was ready to just end it. Just ready to just donezo. And you know what? I had an epiphany just after my birthday where I wrote out a set of goals and I said, I'm going to accomplish these. And that's when I said, it's time to quit the bullshit jobs. It's time to take control of my destiny. And no matter how bleak it gets, there's hope. Because you know what? I can make that hope happen. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I appreciate you guys believing in me always and being true and good friends. Not just supporters, not just viewers. You guys are true and good friends. And this guy doesn't forget that. Oh my God, yes. God, Fury Kitten, I love it. No, so, alrighty. I'm probably going to ride up into the sunset because it is closing in on midnight. I'm going to get some sleep. But I did want to have some time with you guys, tell you what's going on, and talk a little bit about what's happening in the world. And I'm glad that we had our time together this evening. It's been far, far, far too long, and too long in between. So, as I said, I'll try to do a high heresy stream at least once a week so we can do this. So just keep an eye out for those. And Tobat and I will figure out how to get these United Resistance podcasts going for you guys and start pumping episodes of those out. So stay tuned for that. Oh, God, I have missed you so much. I have missed you guys really so much. Man. Oh, real quick before I let you guys go. So the female situation is still crazy. That girl I was engaged to, she's still living with a 70-year-old guy. And yet she still calls me and wants to see me on the down low. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Needless to say, the likelihood of her being the missus anytime soon is probably low, much less me actually ever winding up being with her. I did have another gal I was seeing recently, but she isn't very keen on the whole like kids thing. So I'm like, so that didn't quite work either. But I'm still the most eligible Filipino bachelor that there is out there. And hey, that's the bottom line. So, I'm free to spread Drew love. What can I say? But the biggest thing is, beware the Drew, and I will see you guys soon. Oh, goodness, man. Take care of yourselves, by the way, guys, and each other. We got to look out for each other through all of this stuff. All right. Catch you guys on the flip very soon.